What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome to LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you another review. This time, as you see the title, Blacklighting, Episode 8, Things Fall Apart. First things first, I could get everybody to hit that like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification button so you always get notified when I drop a video. Yeah, and plus leave a comment down below of what you thought of this spectacular episode. Cause like all Blacklighting episodes, this episode was very spectacular, and I have that. Well, I'm gonna say when we get into it. So, those who are subscribed, thank you, love you, appreciate you for being subscribed to the channel, being subscribed, being a tribe member. Therefore, I got something coming for you guys down the line, a surprise, so stay tuned. Don't miss a video so you don't miss what the surprise is. Those who are not subscribed, you don't want to miss that surprise either, because you can be in on it if you just all you got to do is hit that subscribe and hit that notification button, and you will be notified when that surprise happens. But with all that being said, we got to go 1,200 subscribers. We're close to 1,200, so let's get that subscribe button going. With that being said, let's get into it. You know what I like to do. I like to give y'all a synopsis. So, the Blacklighting, Episode 8, The Book of Ruin, Chapter 3, Things Fall Apart. The FBI pays Jefferson a visit. Anissa surprises Grace. So, what that doesn't even begin to get into why this episode was so good. This episode is a return back to the Pierce family. You know, we had last episode was Painkiller. You know, setting up the Painkiller spinoff. So if it gets picked up, this episode gets right back to being on the Jefferson family and their struggle with Tobias. And that's what this episode was all about. Tobias and his and getting closer to his end game. And what we will see here is that Tobias basically what I'm trying to see what happened. So Anissa, it starts off with Anissa and Grace coming to the house, right? They back from their honeymoon, as they took their honeymoon in Painkiller, and you know, they in front of Jeff's house, and Jeff is basically, Anissa and Grace are basically scared. They're scared how Jeff and the family, how Jeff and their mother Lynn's going to take it. That they got married, you know, without them knowing, because they was even like, yeah, well, we said we was going to do it after the wedding, right? After the honeymoon. So, yeah, Grace is like, oh yeah, your parents are going to be so pissed that we got married and did not tell them. So they suck it up, got the courage, and walk into the house, only to be revealed that it was a surprise party. Grace is shocked to see that it was a surprise party, that everybody's happy, welcoming her to the family, and you know, then Anissa reveals to Grace that she might have called ahead and pretty much dropped told them everything. So, you know, and revealing that they was not mad at all. They was happy and ecstatic, and they asked Anissa to make a speech. So Anissa makes a speech about how much she loves Grace, and that they hope they grow old together and get, you know, in this crazy world that and that throughout their marriage they're gonna have crazy situations, but because nobody's here is normal, they're gonna get through it just fine. And Grace agrees. You know, Jess and you know, they partying, the festivities are getting underway, and then where there's a knock at the door, is a frantic knock. Those are, you know, somebody who desperately wants to get their attention. So they like, this can't be good. That's not a good sign. So everybody, you know, just hangs back while Jeff goes open the door And to Jeff's surprise, is an FBI agent with FBI police officers with him, and the FBI agent is he's asking what's going on, why he's there, and he tells Jeff that they got a warrant to search his house, and they get him the warrant, and then they try to go in, but Jeff is like, wait, hold on, you're not getting in my house until you tell me what's going on, and the dude turns around and look at the other SWAT officers, but it is revealed that he's a metahuman who got the ability to control people's minds. And he controlled their mind to draw their weapons, and they all draw their pistol, and he draw his pistol, and he's like, so that's how it's gonna be. He said, "Sir, I'm ordering you to step aside and allow me to search your house." And he basically giving him, "I'm not gonna tell you again." And Jeff just looks at him and looks back at his family, knowing that he just basically want to beam this guy. He want to just shoot him up with electricity, but he doesn't. He complies, puts his hands up, and allows the police officer to come in. So basically, they go into the house, but we don't get to see the raid per se. We just see we see the aftermath of it. The house is tore up. They didn't find nothing, but it was revealed. This is where it's revealed why they raided his house. Apparently, he was being raided because he was being accused of extorting and embezzling money from the high school, for himself and his own purposes. So this will spark a whole controversy throughout the episode, whether Jeff did it or not. And they figured out that it must be Tobias finally making his move, and they realized they remembered what Tobias said, that Tobias wanted to ruin Jeff's life and his name, to get payback at what Jeff has done to him, and for the death of his sister. So Jeff come up with a plan to try to stop Tobias, that they need to they end up agreeing that they need to figure out if that girl that's with Tobias, his female secretary, if she's the one who killed the mayor, if she has the power of magnetism, and Lynn reveals that not only they waiting on the final results for Jennifer's scan stuff to prove what they already know, that is Jennifer and that is their daughter. She got it ready. She got the little vial ready with to shoot up into a non-metahuman to see what type of powers the lady got, to prove that either she got the magnetism power, because they realize if they do and they could corner her and back her into a corner, she'll have no choice but to out Tobias as the person who set up the murder of the mayor. So Tobias will then see, Jeff will apologize to Lynn about what he said about the argument they had and the previous episode, not Painkiller, but the episode before Painkiller, about how he didn't mean to disrespect her and disrespect her sobriety, because she's trying to stay sober. She doesn't want to. She's like, her drug of addiction was the metahuman boosters, and she didn't want to give her sobriety. She's already struggling as it is, but she finally get into a place where she could finally resist the urge to shoot herself up with the metahuman boosters. So she she accepts Jeff's apology and tells him that she got everything that she needs ready. She just needs to find a person to test it on. And we get to see a scene with Jennifer and Anissa talking about how they was mad and wanted to do something to the FBI agents who were tearing up their house, but they couldn't. And they said, Anissa reminded Jennifer that, the one thing about doing what they do, they got to have restraint, and they got to have they got to have restraint and patience and not to use their powers. And especially given what Jennifer is going through with the whole face change and body change. She's she's basically now initially tells her that she's going to be great, that she's going to do fine at school, because I think that the next day will be her first day back at school as the new her, and that she needs to worry about being comfortable in her new skin and stuff, and not what everybody else thinks. Then we see Tobias, who has video footage of the raid of Jefferson's house, which pretty much confirmed that it was him who set Jeff up. And he's like, he's smiling and happy. He said, "This was wonderful. I'm glad that you brought this to me." And the female secretary, she asked him about Lynn and what they're gonna do with Lynn and how they're gonna handle Lynn and stuff, because he was like, he said the thing about Lynn is she's not going to leave any stone unturned, and that she's going to do a job to do what she thinks she's going to be doing, and that he laughs about the fact that they don't even know, she don't even know what they really using her for. The guy who actually did kill the mayor, the one that got the power to use the magnetism. He asked Tobias what they're going to do about the guy. I forgot the guy's name, but it's a guy who's late on the shipments that they were suspecting. And they said, so, Tobias like, somebody needs to go talk. I need to go talk to him, because we can't be late for the shipment. That shipment got to be on time. And the guy volunteers to go do it himself. And Tobias like, you know what? I appreciate your initiative. Your initiative is noted. Go ahead, be my guest, and go ahead and handle that. And everything seems to be looking up for Tobias. We still got the. I just want to point out there that we still got that assassin dude looking for. He looking for not painkiller, but Blackbird. I couldn't remember what Thunder called her alter ego was Blackbird. But yeah, he's still looking for Blackbird. Jennifer goes to school. Jeff coaches her first about her backstory and how she gotta basically pretend that she is this girl, and that she gotta go by this girl is the cousin on her mother's side. Her name is JJ. She got to rehearse the line, and he was like, "Well, yeah, you go ahead and go to school." So she goes to school with TC, and they they had to pretend like she's new. So TC was giving her the tour, and they end up seeing a group of kids who's basically shooting like a little video talking about how Jeff stole the money from them, that they need to do something, they need to protest, to do something, demand that the money be returned because the money was ours. And he's basically all against Jeff, to which this new kid eventually steps in and basically tells him to stop chasing clout, stop trying to smear somebody's name to get famous to be a famous YouTuber or blogger or whatever. And he's basically telling him, "Hey, you're smearing somebody's good name to try to make a name for yourself, and you shouldn't do that." And he said, "You know what? Whatever, man." Walks away, and Jennifer takes a liking to him. She introduces herself, as like you said, as JJ, and basically she introduces herself. And they hit it off. And TC like, "Man, you thirsty." I was like, she was like, "So, I'm like, so now we get to the episode with the new kid, because this is when China Ann was still playing Lightning. There was an episode that Miss read in the synopsis that Jennifer was supposed to meet this new kid then, but now we see that she doesn't meet the new kid till after she left the show, and they got this new girl playing Jennifer. We then get Lynn going to Gamby She goes to Gamby. She asks Gamby for help. Gamby is setting up the final preparations to get this power source to help with the new suits, which will explain why none of them was suited up in this episode. Besides Blackbird and Grace, everybody but them two suited up in this episode. But I mean, didn't shoot up. Gamby is trying to get this power source to reinforce the suits because these new metahuman guns that the police got could hurt and pierce through all his suits. So he trying to get this new tech to help upgrade the suits so they won't be so they be able to protect themselves against these new metahuman guns that the police are having. So Lynn is there to ask Gamby for help. And Gammy, she explains to Gamby that she's trying to keep her sobriety going, but that she needs help. She needs help, and what she needs help is that she needs to test the metahuman booster to see what power does this lady, the female secretary to Tobias, actually has, and Gamby accepts it, and he allows her to inject him with the metahuman booster to see what power she has. And Gamby said, "Is it something supposed to be happening? Because I don't feel anything." And she explains what the feeling. She explains what the sensation and feeling is supposed to be and how it goes right before she actually gets the powers. And she was getting deep into her addiction again, but she snaps out of it. And basically, after explaining what it's supposed to feel like, and they still doesn't feel nothing. She's like, "Wait, something's wrong." And then we cut to Jeff, who is back at home. First we cut to Jennifer again back at school with find out that they cut the band class that her and the dude had together, and they cut it. They try to figure out how they could raise the money, and Jennifer like, "Well, I got a crazy idea," and the dude's like, "Well, I'm all ears." And then it cuts to Jeff, who was at home, was arguing with somebody on the phone, but then Jennifer would come in and basically ask, is he okay, and who was down the phone, and he was like, it was nobody. He said that she said like just because I'm going through what I'm going through doesn't mean you gotta hide things from me to protect me. And he reveals that he was given a notice. He was given a notice about the fact that they tried to foreclose his home. And I forgot the scene that set this up too was that the dude that Jeff had let stay in his house, the teacher that was basically homeless, trying to get his kids back, and then he did get his kids back that was staying with him at that house. He gave him that notice telling him that he doesn't need he was moving out because he got the notice about the house, and the notice is that the house is being foreclosed and being torn down so that a hospital could be built in its place in the area, because I think Tobias basically brought the area to use to tear down the houses to put a hospital there. And that he was telling him that he was leaving the house anyway because he got thanks to the money he got from Tobias homeless person relocation program. He's actually got the house where he's going to pick up the keys to his new house. And Jeff is shocked to hear that when he's wondering how all this is happening. And he said some albino man came to the house and introduced himself and basically gave him the money and the keys to the money for the program and all that type of stuff. And he explains to him, the albino dude that's running for mayor. I would never have voted for him, but he helped me out a lot. And he was like, Tobias Wells. So that sets up this scene where he's on the phone trying to get information about it, and then he tells Jennifer that they're trying to tear down your grandfather's home and basically they trying to turn it into a hospital. And Tobias basically, this is another thing Tobias trying to do to ruin Jeff's life. Jennifer is like, well, just let him tear it down. Then we don't use the house anyway. And then he goes on to teach Jen why he doesn't want to sell it and let them tear it down, because that was the first house in an age where it was hard for a black man to do stuff like that. His father was able to have something of his own that he brought, and that he wanted to pass down for generation to generation, and that Jeff wanted to continue that. He wanted to continue passing it down from him to his kids, and hopefully they'll do it for their kids. And she reminded him that the way Anissa likes to live, and me being who I am, being popular, I don't think we'll have any use for the house, but I understand where you're coming from. And that she ended up calling him daddy, and he knows that she haven't called him daddy in years, so it sets on some type of suspicions with Jennifer. And Jennifer can even call her off guard, like, well, I don't have to mix it up sometimes. But yeah, they would go on. Grace and Anissa would go to this clinic to get information about how her hospital got these technology to remove the disease that shouldn't be possible to remove, and they found that's also part of Tobias. So they try to get this information, but they're attacked by this assassin killer who's been attached to kill the Pierce family, or as the people who sent them onto them. They're attached to kill the Blacklighting, Blackburn, all of them. And they have a great fight scene. It's a wonderful fight scene, well choreographed, and at times it looked like the dude was going to win. He actually even had Anissa to the ground, getting ready to stab her in the back, but Grace was transformed into her leopard, into the leopard, fighting off the dude and scaring them off. To which the dude get on the bike. He's like a shapeshifter, duly noted, and he drives away. Jennifer and them goes to talk to Gamby about who the guy is, and Gamby reveals that the guy is some type of assassin, hitman, that he either works for a secret covert organization or a gang or a criminal organization. Either way, somebody sent him after them. The episode ends with a cliffhanger of Lynn getting the test results back from Jennifer, and something very surprising, and that it ends with her keeping a secret from Jeff. There's stuff I left out on purpose, of course, because it was a good episode. I want you to go see it. But if I had to give this episode anything, I'd give it 9 big ups, because it was a great episode to return back to their Pierce family. It was all around good, and I recommend to go check the episode out. Once again, it's called Things Fall Apart. It's episode 8 of season 4 of Blacklighting. But that's all I got. If y'all can hit this button right here, it'll take you to all of my review videos. If you can hit this button right here, this is for people who haven't subscribed yet. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the surprise I got in store for my viewers, for my tribe members. Or hit any one of these videos for more amazing content. I'm out of here. Chief out. See you in the next video. Peace.